This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. This week on a new TV Tuners, James Gandolfini drops by to give Kyorain a dossier.
This here's got all of Swanson's fears.
Oh my god, this is gonna blow him wide open.
And Swanson and Stairmaster build a shed.
Ow!
The paint goes there! All that and more on a new TV Tuners. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and new Captain America, Stairmaster.
Wink.
Yeah,
I
you're
have no lines in this episode.
no lines unless you count that chin.
That's an angle.
I guess. Yeah, good. You do you. You got an element of mystery to you. I'm sure you won't be evil or bad in any way.
Or racist.
Yeah. And with us, as always, of course, is our other co-host and guy who really probably shouldn't be doing superhero stuff given his numerous traumas, Kyorain.
Listen, I just want a girlfriend really bad.
Listen, it's been 90 years. I haven't gotten it wet.
I have not busted in over 9 decades.
It's been countless war. No nut.
Until now, it was completely voluntary.
So, so Bucky Barnes participated in No Nut Century.
Yes.
Yeah.
And failed, since it was only 90 years.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we don't know. He left the
7.
date.
Yeah, like, he's not on the track right now, is what we're going to say here.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's failing as a warrior for Christ.
He could have got sex that night, I'm sure.
I mean,
That
obviously...
would have made it up to that man
Yeah.
whose son he murdered.
He give me a new son.
A new son with my daughter.
I don't even think that's his daughter.
It's just some
Yeah.
lady who lives in his house.
No, it wasn't his house. It was a restaurant.
Okay.
I don't think they live together at all, Stair. I think
Spoilers, the show was not very gripping to me.
Oh.
Oh my god, how could you say that during the first minute quips?
You're right. If you're upset, why don't you like and subscribe us on iTunes?
Yeah, and
Well,
do that even
why?
if you're not upset, actually. Yeah, you can go to any of the podcast apps of your choice. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher,
You decide.
Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
more. Go over there
Subscribe.
and hit subscribe.
If you're mad about my bullshit, you can leave a 5-star review. Any lower than that and we won't read it or acknowledge your complaints.
Yeah, we'll just continue doing things as normal, which we
Yeah, just-
likely would do otherwise.
Just do a 5-star review with scathing criticisms. Like a whole paragraph of just like completely dunking on the whole podcast. And then
Well, it's mostly going to be me. We all know
we'll
that.
we'll read it aloud in a very cheerful voice, though.
Yeah, we would love to read that aloud on the pod. You can also head on over to twitter.com where you can
What?
find all of our tweets. It's a great place for TV content if that's what you're into. It's at TV Tuners on Twitter.
Okay, what
True.
else?
Yeah, the DMs are open there.
Ladies.
No.
Well, no, it's open for everybody.
Men.
Yeah, men, women, and otherwise.
Very good.
And if you crave a more personal connection, perhaps you have a quip, comment, question, foresight, or otherwise that you want us to read aloud on the pod, Well, you can do that by emailing us.
Woo!
That's right, our email address is tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com for any of your pressing concerns. What's that email address, Gilrain?
If you want to send us an email that starts with like a really intense action scene and then transitions over into like financial concerns, send us an email at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com.
That's right. And with all that out of the way, let's dive right into the tweet of the week, huh? Keo told me this was a special one.
Yeah, he was insistent that he take over Tweet of the Week duties this week.
Yeah,
also Trailer Blazer duties.
Yeah, so this Tweet of the Week is from Puyo Puyo Official at Puyo Official.
Oh.
And the tweet reads, Puyo 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 Tetris 2 is now out on Steam.
Oh.
Featuring all content released on consoles, including 40 characters, including Sonic.
Whoa!
10 plus game modes, RPG-inspired skill battles, 80 plus adventure mode levels, competitive multiplayer, and much more. Download now at the provided link. And then there's a video attached of game footage and showing off what's on the game.
Wow, there's both Puyo and Tetris.
And Sonic.
You can do face-to-face. There's Sonics there. They got 40 characters. They're all the best characters in the world, guys.
Wow, that's a tune-in for me.
And yeah, it's a tune-in for me. You guys should all go down to steam.com, purchase this game.
Yeah.
For $59 US.
Wait, are we sponsored by Puyo Puyo Tetris 2?
I assume so.
Yeah, definitely. They're paying us for this. And the price is a $30. It's not a $50 game. It's $30. That's a steal. That's a bargain. Add that to your cart.
Yeah, I'm adding it right now with the money that I'm presumably getting from them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I can't wait to play as Sonic.
Maybe we can get Sonic to hang out with us. Now that we're being sponsored by Sega.
Yeah, we're being sponsored by Sega.
We're being sponsored by Sega?
Wow.
Yeah, Sonic's probably going to be on the pod. Maybe we can get his now fired voice actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if fired is the right word.
Departed. Dearly departed.
Cancelled by Netflix.
Yeah. Cancelled after 2 seasons by Netflix.
What a shame.
Yeah, that's a tune-in. Go get Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 right now. What are you waiting for?
Yes.
TV Tuner sponsored.
If you were thinking of donating to our Buy Me a Coffee, spend that on Puyo Puyo Tetris instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys allowed me to do this due to the sponsorship and not for any other reason.
Well,
why else would we?
Yeah, if we weren't being paid to do this, I would have murdered you by now for even suggesting we do something like this.
Yeah, we're definitely getting paid on this one.
Well, that's good because I was sharpening my knives until you mentioned the money.
And I was sharpening my gun.
I'm glad that I didn't have to say how much money it was either. You just assumed it was enough, so that's good.
Well, yeah, I mean, Puyo Puyo, they don't mess around.
It's Sega. They're the number one company.
They have a notoriously large marketing budget for this game.
Yeah. I mean, look, they got Sonic. Of course they do.
So what else do we do on this podcast?
Well, sometimes we talk about TV.
Oh.
As in, what you guys watch this week? Anything fun, interesting?
I've been watching more Banshee.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
Is Anthony Starr still getting it?
Yes.
Have you been telling the interns to post a lot about it lately?
I've been cracking the whip, both literally and metaphorically.
I'm glad they're listening, and I'm glad you're getting into some kinky stuff with the interns too.
Well, it wasn't for my gratification.
It was for the Twitter. It was for the Twitter audiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can, if you're curious, check out my OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, what's the URL for that?
OnlyFans.com/juicemachine1999.
Yeah, that sounds good.
What's the relevance of that year?
I don't know.
It was the year the Dreamcast came out.
Yes. That's the titular juice machine.
Okay.
as everyone clearly calls it.
I haven't watched a whole bunch this week. I did watch another movie from the past year.
Ooh.
It was titled Nomadland. It's apparently a frontrunner for the Oscars. It was alright.
Wait, so what's it called? Nomad Lad?
No, I wish. It's Nomad Land,
Oh.
as in people who don't have homes and live in like vans.
Oh. Yeah. Living the dream.
Yeah.
Not the dream.
It takes place in 2011, I think. So right when things were getting bad for people.
That was a pretty dismal year, wasn't it, folks?
Yeah.
And it only got worse. Okay,
Uh,
Makio, imagine if your van had a painting of a wizard inside it. A mural on the wall.
oh.
All right, I want you to consider the possibility of getting tired of that.
Impossible. Okay, imagine you're living in the van from that episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, except it actually works. That's a car.
Yeah, that'd be fun for like a day.
And also, it doesn't smell really bad like it would
Yeah.
in real life.
It'd be a fully functioning van that I could bring women into, is what you're saying.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
thing they never talk about in the movie when they show the various inequities that someone who lives in a van might suffer. They never discuss the smell.
Oh, yeah. They don't talk about that on Ed, Ed, and Eddie either. Hey, Double D, what are these white stains in the carpet? And the rug?
The movie itself has some great directing and cinematography, and it's nice. It's fun. It definitely feels like an Oscar movie, though. So yeah.
Like
I
the
also
person who
watched-
made it wanted an Oscar very badly.
Yes, like the Snyder Cut.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, it was fine. It mostly follows a character played by Frances McDormand, whose name is Fern. Her entire town literally just like collapses, like it doesn't exist anymore. It's off the map.
It's swallowed by the earth.
It just shuts down. Like it was like owned by it was like pretty much owned by a factory that closed. So they were like, all right, guess there's nothing here for anybody anymore.
Oh, the racism factory shut down.
So then she decides to, hang out in a van, travel around, meet some nomads, some of whom were played by actual nomads. So that's fun.
Hate to see it.
Or
Or you love to see it? I don't know.
it is okay. I don't know if I guess I'd give it a light tune in if you're into like the more cinematic side of things.
It's like Master and Commander, but it's a woman in a car.
Sure, yeah. There's also not many battle scenes.
Unfortunately.
There is some, though.
Yeah, there's a big van battle.
With the French nomad at the end.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Anything else from you guys?
I watched more of the Gundam, Mobile
Yes!
Suit Gundam 0079 program.
Oh.
You got to the part of every mecha anime where the protagonist just runs off and cries.
Yeah, he went off on his own for a little bit. They were like, listen, we gotta get this Amuro kid out the Gundam. we need to get some more mature lads in there.
Yes! Put Sayla in there.
No, we saw that didn't work. Stare.
She would know how to deal with it, I think.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it would have been cool if she actually was like better than Amuro at it or something.
Well, unfortunately, Kyoran women cannot pilot the Gundams.
And if they do, they're the object of mockery. Depending on who's writing, week to week.
Yeah, I guess she didn't really get mocked there. It was just kind of like she didn't know what she was doing, and she was just kind of going out trying to figure out where Char was.
Which is weird because she's like number 3 in terms of total kills in that show, and they're all in the core fighter. Which implies she's like an utter beast when it comes to piloting.
Yeah, but the Gundam is too hard, Stairmaster, you see.
Yeah, it's a
It's
very
nothing
complex
like the simulators.
machine.
She didn't have the manual like Amuro did.
Amuro read that manual and also is like Gundam efficient. His mind is built for Gundam.
I wonder what happened to that manual.
Dropped it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's floating in space.
Yeah, so
With his dad.
I watched like 14, I think, episodes now, and there's been some major events going on
Oh yeah, so many people have died.
Yeah, Amuro's just like he's killing people. He's just blowing things up now.
Wow. He's a stone
Also,
cold killer.
nude female breasts.
Yes, because it was 1979.
No standards.
They were just like, yeah, we can put that on there. That's fine.
Well, what did you think of those?
I mean, it wasn't really much to it, but
They also do. Famously, they did like a pinup of Salem, Mass. With Full Frontal in some magazine somewhere, which became like a collector's item.
Oh, Full Frontal was also there?
Yes.
I mean, if I were like 15 years old watching this, I would have been like, whoa! But
whoa!
And you get like a nosebleed.
Wow, and you immediately go to the model kit store to support it.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure this doesn't get canceled.
You don't see this on Evangelion.
I think you get to see breast in Zeta Gundam as well.
Dang.
Yeah, but nowadays, as a grown man, I'm just like, yes, the female form is very familiar to me. Farewell.
I'm trying to remember.
Yes, make a suitable mate.
What showed up? I recall a Gundam, a very dark Gundam that was on Toonami at one point. It was either 8th MS Team or Zeta Gundam.
8th MS Team has full frontal nudity in the second episode.
And like they poorly edited it out in the Toonami episode, from what I remember.
You are correct.
Okay, then it was 8th
What do they
MS
do?
Team.
Do they just like make him like smooth?
Well, this lady's like skinny dipping in the lake, and she comes out and like you can see her boobs.
But they sort of just like cut it like very poorly in the version that shows up on Toonami.
They just zoom in on her face.
Yeah. I remember this distinctly because I was like, oh, a Gundam that doesn't look like it was made in like 1822.
The 70s.
I'll watch this, and then I was like, whoa, as a 16-year-old.
I think that's it. I think those breasts are like half the reason people speak so highly of that show.
Yeah, I've never actually watched the rest of that.
Good.
Well, you were so upset because they censored it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, that's everything covered.
Not those breasts. Hey.
Well, look, there was a sequence where Amuro just like he decides he's going to be the hero and he's going to blow up this like mining operation. So he goes to town on this place. He just solos it, and then like he discovers it was like number 130 or something.
Well, yeah. He's like launching a one-man invasion of the Ukraine and then finding out the Ukraine is very huge.
Yeah, devastating, mate.
Also, isn't that where he gets like owned by the Adzam or whatever?
Like the hot
flash.
powder?
Oh, I think that's something else.
No, there was some kind of hot powder that they used on him, and it was like working for a second, then it didn't work.
And they were like, understandable, have a nice day, and left.
They're like, wow, the Gundam precedes parameters. Let's leave.
They should have used Icy Hot on him.
That would have got him.
Yeah, it works for Shaquille O'Neal, and he's about the size of a Gundam.
True.
All right. Well,
except that doesn't it help him to?
Oh yeah, I guess
feel better after an injury or something.
Yeah, I guess
Who's
that's
the better
whole
basketball player, Shaquille O'Neal or Char?
Oh,
Char.
Yeah, because Char would just like look at Shaquille O'Neal, and Shaquille would like fly a few feet.
I mean, unless we discover that Shaq was like secretly fueled by revenge or something, then I'm pretty sure Char has the advantage.
I think Char would end up like just forfeiting the game to murder the coach or something.
All right. Well, with all of that out of the way, it's time for us to get to the rabble, huh?
Hi.
Uh-oh.
It's my
What's
favorite
the rabble?
segment.
The rabble is a segment here on the Podcast where we talk about the show we're going to watch by giving you a sneak peek before we talk about it in depth, give you our official take. We're going to give you the consensus picks from IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, what the critics and others think about the show. And, yeah.
All right. So I guess I'll start, and hopefully I realized I didn't consult with Stairmaster to see if we picked the same one, but I doubt we did. I doubt it.
Who's it by?
Shadow Facts 73.
Oh.
No. Go ahead.
Very close to a friend of yours, right, Kyo?
Friend?
I don't think he's any of our friends.
Well, I can't. I don't know. I have. He banned me on Twitter. He blocked me on Twitter. He doesn't want to look at me. Apparently.
Wait, why did he block you on Twitter?
I don't even remember. I think I replied to him once.
I think all my interactions with him have just had him be hostile.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of pent up aggression, I think.
Yeah, we're for those who don't know, we're of course talking about a mysterious Twitter user that you yourself might have encountered, dear listener, named ShadowFan0x90.
I think he's French.
Yeah,
or something.
I'm not really sure about that. All right, so he's not my friend. I don't know who you're talking about, to be honest.
Yeah, this is now this reviewer is Shadowfax.
Yeah, Shadowfax, and that's totally different meaning than Shadowfan. Isn't that like a horse or something?
That sounds like the guy who had all those fake Star Wars spoilers.
Yeah, Shadowfax is a horse from Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, okay.
Is it a good horse or an evil horse?
Yeah, Shadowfax was the lord of all horses.
What?
Oh.
I don't know if you're making this up.
Do we need that?
He was a descendant of Felaroth, of the race of long-lived Miras, the greatest horses of Middle-earth. Shadowfax was capable of comprehending human speech and was said to run faster than the wind.
Dang.
Keo is literally reading from the Silmarillion right now.
Shadowfax was Gandalf's horse.
Oh. That reminds me of how Rao from Fist of the North Star's horse was the king of all horses.
Why the fuck is there not a scene in any of those movies, despite how long they are, of Gandalf talking to a horse and it talking back?
Yeah, we need a Peter Jackson cut. Oh wait, they did that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was his horse or not, but he apparently knew the horse. I
think he was friends with the horse.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be?
I don't know if he
All right, what's this review say?
Oh,
this is a 4 out of 10, and it says aimed at 10-year-olds who wear Marvel t-shirts to school.
True.
Okay.
The maturity and class of the Marvel movies have made them great movies, not just great superhero movies. Sadly, they're aiming for lowest common denominator for TF and TWS seems to have worked. Oh, actually, that is the right there. Okay. Seems to have worked. The 10-year-olds are flinging 10 out of 10 ratings out there like confetti, which means that the future of Marvel TV shows on Disney will be more and more of the same cliched crud. 46 out of 93 have found this helpful.
Wow.
All right.
That's fairly helpful.
They really had a lot to actually say about the program we watched, didn't they?
Yeah, I love that. I love that most reviews, whether positive or negative, that I've encountered have a lot to do with the show. Talking about the content of the show and not just Marvel in general.
Not like society.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is kind of reflecting a kind of disdain for this. Well, okay, I describe this show as a product. This is a show as product. We can all agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think that the masses are aware of this, but they don't know how to articulate it.
Right. Yeah. And that's why you come to TV Tuners, so you can get expert analysis like this.
It's like a box. It was made in a factory.
Yeah, exactly. But they can't explain why that is in the show. They just feel it and they can identify it. But they just say that it's for 10-year-olds instead.
I have, so there was an odd situation here. We're reviewing this, not even a week after it came out. So I guess I guess Rotten Tomatoes does not have things at the ready for this. I guess critics were just not prepared to discuss the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It was a pretty pivotal program.
I think the main thing is that normally critics get like screeners ahead of time, and I doubt they got them in this case because of spoilers. Because
of the microchip shortages.
Yeah, because of their scenes.
They really need the hype on this. They need the hype on this program, guys.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
That doesn't stop Rotten Tomatoes from giving it a 93, even though there's no critics reviews, so how are you basing that off of anything?
Interesting.
But to look, I'm not going to deprive us of reviews, because I do have an IMDb review here, and I found an interesting review on Letterboxd as well. So I'll go with the IMDb one first. This is from Gato239.
Ooh.
It's titled, Marvel is Dead.
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm not a DC fan, but in the near future, I think DC will destroy Marvel. MCU is out of ammo. WandaVision was also big crap. While right now, DC has made one of the best CBM ever. And they are making the new Batman and Flash movie as well. Poor Marvel, Iron Man is dead. So as your universe.
Oh.
DCEU greater than MCU. No need to be upset, Marvel fanboys.
Oh.
0
Okay, this is somebody
out of 1 found this helpful.
This is somebody who isn't aware this is a product, but has just about the same amount to say about it.
No,
So
I think they might be aware that this is a product, but that they are stating that they like the other product.
I think this guy understands it's basically console wars bullshit at this point.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of looking up like Coca-Cola and finding a review where it's like, I think Pepsi will overtake Coca-Cola in the next year.
Their drinks don't taste like piss.
Okay, Stare. People who are aware of the whole console wars thing don't talk about the console wars. They understand that it's not worth talking about.
Well, now
Those
they do,
people
but
are
that's because it's been going on for longer than this type of thing has.
Those people? Cowards. I will say the PlayStation 5 should have some video games.
Oh.
In my opinion.
Bold stance.
So are you Xbox for life?
No, I'm Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
That's
wow.
Since that's what I actually owned.
Oh, so you're telling me you're a Switchy?
Yeah, I'm a Switch.
I'm a Nintendo Switch both in life and in bed.
I'm a Switch and my DMs are open.
Okay.
All right.
So my review comes from Rika.
Oh. Okay.
Drikeria, who writes, "It's surprising. It's good, but the action's kind of lame. I can't begin to imagine if you put this kind of action for like 6 episodes. Want to guess what they rated it?
10 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Correct,
Oh.
Keo.
Oh, in your face.
So wait, they think the action is boring, but they still gave it an 8 out of 10, even though
There was like not much action in this.
there's one scene.
They really loved the scene where Sam had to go get a loan. Really spoke to them.
I love this type of TV action where the character gets a bunch of on-screen kills, but like can't actually kill anyone.
Oh, these kills were also very shot. Like when Bucky's killing people, he shoots them, but the way the camera is framed, you don't really get the impact of the bullets hitting them. You just see them fall over.
Well, yeah, you can't be showing all that blood and stuff. You can show vicious murder, but you can't be showing...
Yeah.
it's interesting stuff there. I mean, the action scene was fine, I guess. We'll discuss it later, but all right. So I have a final review here from Letterboxd. First off, let me discuss that if you're thinking about going to Letterboxd and writing a review for a single episode of a miniseries, don't do that. That's not what that's for.
If I see any of you place a review for Gunbuster on Letterboxd, I will fucking kill you. Hold on, let me say it like Batman from the Snyder Cut. I'm going to fucking kill you.
So that's the one F word that he gets in that?
Yes.
Okay.
So why are you platforming this if it's so sinful?
Oh, well, you'll find out when I read this review, because this is an exception to the rule.
Okay.
It's a half star. This is from
God.
DeMac 1214.
The Mac, okay.
I saw Anthony Mackie at a grocery store in Los Angeles yesterday. I told him how cool it was to meet him in person, but I didn't want to be a douche and bother him and ask him for photos or anything. He said, "Oh, like you're doing now?" I was taken aback, and all I could say was, "Huh?" But he kept cutting me off and going, "Huh? Huh? Huh?" and closing his hand shut in front of my face. I walked away and continued with my shopping, and I heard him chuckle as I walked off. When I came to pay for my stuff up front, I saw him trying to walk out the door with like 15 Milky Ways in his hands, without paying. The girl at the counter was very nice about it, and professional, and was like, "Sir, you need to pay for those first." At first, he kept pretending to be tired and not hear her, but eventually turned back around and brought them to the counter. When she took one of the bars and started scanning it multiple times, he stopped her and told her to scan them each individually, to prevent any electrical electrical interference, and then turned around and winked at me. I don't even think that's a word. After she scanned each bar and put them in a bag and started to say the price, he kept interrupting her by yawning really loudly. That's it.
You know, every time I hear the beginning of this story, I don't recognize it.
What? That first sentence is like scarred into my head.
It takes a couple of sentences for me to recognize it. I've only read it a few times.
I wish more people would do the one where he's like, "The sea has claimed her. She must fight for her life." That's my favorite.
So yeah, that was a review for this program, I'm sure.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it was a review.
I'd probably recognize it better if I knew who anyone's name was.
That's Sam Wilson. As Anthony Mackie.
Originally, it was Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I don't remember where I first saw that, but it's very good.
There was an entire genre of these sort of stories about Keanu Reeves just being an absolute monster, including one where he chucks a child into the ocean and then prevents people from rescuing them, saying that Poseidon has claimed him.
You can tell that we've been on the internet for far too long because a lot of the comments in this Letterboxd review don't seem to understand that it is in fact a meme.
What? It's like, huh?
There's the people who are like, I hope this is true.
They're just posting on Twitter. Anthony McKenzie canceled.
Alright, well, that's it for the rabble. Stay tuned for our official TV Tuners take later in the show. And with all of that out of the way, I guess it's time for us to get to the news, huh?
Yes.
Alright. So you guys, I think I can just say the date and you'll know what I'm talking about immediately. January 6th.
Inauguration? No, not Inauguration Day. The day where the Senate voted or whatever on the president being president. Okay.
And then like some people were like, "No, we don't like that." Hey, no. Hey, no.
Yeah, they stopped the steal.
That's right. They sure did. That's why Donald Trump is still in office. Behind the scenes, of course.
Yeah. Well, obviously.
So yeah, we're a few months removed, so naturally, TV has already started to think about how they're going to cover this. And Showtime seems to have the answer. They've tapped the writers of the Trump drama The Comey Role to come up with a new series based on the Capitol riots.
This is so exhausting.
I don't even remember The Comey Role.
We watched a trailer for it. Basically, it is Donald Trump is like, "James Comey, I want you to plead loyalty to me, bow down." And Comey's like, "Oh, I'm not sure about that, sir."
I could not.
And he's
My
like,
honor demands that I write this letter.
He's like, don't write that letter. That's going to sound pretty bad.
I finished writing it 8 minutes ago. You just didn't notice because you can't read.
I'm going to publish this, and this is going to be your downfall, Mr. Trump. The American people will not stand for this.
Now I've become a peach. And that was the end of it.
A peach?
Yeah, you got it.
That sounds like some gripping prestige television. I'm sure we really needed that. We need this too.
Yeah, I'm sure. So the Comey roll came out right before the election, which is unnecessary, not needed. Don't need that now.
Which is why Biden won.
Yes, of course.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Can we talk about how the Comey thing was basically the liberal equivalent of Q? Essentially, they were saying, trust the plan, indictments are coming. But instead of pedophilia, it was just boring, hatch-hacked bullshit.
Yeah, instead of being, based in fiction, it was based in something that should have happened, but definitely wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference being that, there were definite crimes committed that need to be answered for, but weren't.
But, yeah.
So, yes, you could argue that the Comey roll maybe is... it was a few years, at least a few years after that incident had happened. It's been how many months? 2 months?
I believe March comes after February, which comes after January.
So two months.
Yeah, almost 3 months. So not even 3 months before they were like, you know what we need? Let's sort of get this sort of uncertainty, this sort of anxiety flowing around here. Let's make a show about it.
Let's make a show before even all of the investigations have concluded.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Before the repercussions have even been felt, which there are none.
So I gotta ask us, of course, there's no word right now whether or not the person who played Trump, Brandon Gleeson, will be playing Trump for this new version. But I imagine, why not? Get him in there.
They should get Brandon Fraser.
Yeah? You think he'd be a good Donald Trump?
Yes, he's a good actor. He's also kind of wide, like Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'm sure he would like that statement. Yeah, so who do we want to play the shaman is the real question here. Because we know he's going to be like the star of this.
Well, we need a young actor.
Yeah, someone...
So Ezra Miller.
The Flash?
Yes.
Alright, I could see it. Can he grow a beard?
We'll CGI it on.
Oh, okay. I was going to go with...
Sandler.
Adam Sandler, yes.
Oh, yeah, he has been leaning more towards dramatic roles. I could probably see him doing a shaman. He's a little old for the role.
And you can get Eddie Faison from The Wire to play the state capitol police officer.
Which one?
The one who's like, don't come in here.
Yeah.
It's closed.
No.
These sacred halls are not to be treaded by the likes of you.
Who do you cast to play the guy who tased himself in the balls and died?
What?
Well, that was a fictional...
You didn't hear about this?
That was not true. That got debunked, Stare.
It definitely happened. I want it to be true.
I hope they do cover that and have some... I think that's who Adam Sandler should play.
I think that should be Kevin James.
Wait, so that was an actual hoax, and not something Sarah just made up on the spot.
No, there was a report going around that there was a man who tased himself in the balls and then died from it. Which, when you say it like that, it definitely sounds like a joke that someone made up.
He had a heart attack after he tased.
Wait, Sarah, are you doubling down on this actually happening?
Yes, I think the media just doesn't want you to believe it.
Yeah, listen, we all make our own truths now, Kioran.
Look, I'm pretty sure the media would be very happy to report on that.
No, they want you to be scared of this, and you can't be scared if you're laughing at the taser balls guy.
Oh.
What if they said like he was trying to stop the...
And he got tased in the balls? By the riot?
He was trying to shoot the taser at a rioter, and he got himself.
That would still be very funny.
But it would be more scary than funny. Like, that could be you. If you try to stop them, that could be you.
I'm more likely to mace myself, I think. I'm that sort of guy.
Well, you survive that, though. You'd be like, oh, my eyeball.
Well, then I would fall down the stairs and hit my head.
And then die?
Yeah.
It's not really very funny.
Well, if I was there, I would have been shot. Because I would be the only one with the balls to actually try to get into the congressional chambers.
Wait, you'd be on the rioter side.
Well, if I was there, yeah.
Parody, satire.
Look, if there's a chance to storm the Capitol, All good Marxists have a responsibility to take it.
Yeah, I think that
Stairmaster does not condone a red-brown alliance.
if you took a utilitarian approach to that, what would you be accomplishing?
It would be good for the podcast. We'd get a lot of attention.
What kind of attention?
Would
like
you be
police
like
attention?
Yeah,
At
would
least
you be like
one more person.
Would you be like flying like a TV tuner's flag?
Yes! I would be flying it in the congressional chamber.
Okay, that would get some people.
yeah.
And declaring a TVocracy ran by the three of us.
I'd be willing to be taken to a black site over that.
Yes, there would be shouting, "Buy me a coffee /TV tuners."
Yes. I unfurl a banner with the URL on it and a QR code.
Yeah,
So everyone is smart.
and the link to our Discord.
Yes. No, absolutely not.
Well, they'll get it when they go to
I would set the Discord to private if I was going to do that.
Yeah, that sounds great, actually.
Yeah, the Stairmaster Behind Bars Discord channel is going to blow up after that.
It's just going to be 8 people just going, guys, at the same time. And it's Keo's ears being blown out by the notification sounds.
Yeah, I could just see, like, people just spam posting the photograph of you behind the bars.
The court sketch of me, which is horribly off model, like that one episode of The Sopranos.
Yeah, very unflattering.
I'm picturing just a handsomely rugged...
I look like a Tom of Finland drawing.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'm wearing like a sailor suit, an old-timey one.
For some reason, you're actually wearing one.
Yeah, the courthouse.
Listen, the Capitol riots, those were bad times, but they're not the only bad times that seem to be on the horizon for TV.
Uh-oh.
Okay, what else?
More Game of Thrones prequels are coming.
Did they release any already?
Nope.
No. We talked at length about a couple, I think. The one that's still in production, as far as I know, is the prequel set all the years back before the beginning of the... Before Daenerys
What?
is...
There's the Aerys Targaryen conquering the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
And there's the one about the war, the first war against the Ice People.
Oh, they're also doing that
Forest
Duncan
folks.
Egg one.
Yes, which is set like 100 years before the series.
Well, now after...
I think
Yeah?
that's right before the Dance of Dragons happened and the Targaryen family went into a civil war.
Well, it's now been revealed that there are 3 more projects in the works.
3?
That's right.
Couldn't they like do one and see how that one goes and then build on that maybe?
No, sorry, Kieran, they can't. They have to try and strike while the iron is hot, even though the iron is most definitely as cold as ice.
You think people are no longer excited about Game of Thrones?
I think the finale
Because the
pretty
ending?
much scorched the earth on much like a dragon scorches King's Landing.
Dang, that's pretty sad.
Yeah, the interest blacked out just like the end of The Sopranos.
Well, the finale probably would have been better received if it did black out.
Yeah, right after the opening credits.
Yes.
It's just black for 40 minutes.
So according to various reports, each of the 3 seem to be taking place in different settings and time periods. So there's at least that, I guess. But they are all prequels because no one wants to...
And they're all in Westeros. And they're all in the white people continent, I assume.
Maybe. We'll see. This first one is titled Sea Snake and will be about the great voyages at sea made by Corlius Velaryon.
Sounds like a character I know and care about.
So I guess this is in the time of the Valerian Empire, before they got ate up by a volcano.
Yeah, it's one of the Valerians. He's hanging out, going to various places that are on the bottom of Westeros.
And Swanson, were you going to say that nobody cares about what happens after Game of Thrones?
Oh, I meant that the creators and people involved and like the executives don't care.
Do the masses care?
I mean, I don't think they care about what happened before Game of Thrones either.
Well, I mean, what are you supposed to care about? There's no story hooks.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm sure people are curious to see, like, how it goes.
Well, I guess there will be, like, another Civil War when Bran dies, if he ever does. Since he can't produce an heir.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's something, I guess, if you want to do that.
They should have had, like, a after-credit stinger where there's a guy in the shadows saying, "I will get revenge."
Flea Bottom is the second one, and it's going to take place in the poorest slum in King's Landing. That's all that we know about that.
Say Flea Bottom?
That's right. That's what they call the poorest slum in King's Landing.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Fleabag, which is a show that I've heard good things about on Amazon. And the last one is titled 10,000 Ships and is about a warrior queen, Princess Nymeria, and the surviving members of the Rhaenars, who travel from Essos to Dorne. So I guess it's going to be about the people in Dorne.
It sounds like a Game of Thrones is becoming a product.
Well, Kioran, as you see, if something becomes popular for long enough, then it will become a product. That is simply how late-stage capitalism works.
Can you believe how we live in a society that lives without honor?
Yeah.
You know they don't say that in the Snyder Cut.
They just had it in the trailer just for funsies.
Yeah, Zack Snyder said he thought it was a fun line to put in the trailer, but he didn't want it in the movie.
That's false advertising. We should sue.
It was also allegedly an ad-lib from Jared Leto.
Props to him.
The only time anyone will ever say props to Jared Leto.
Mm-hmm. Usually Jared Leto's giving out props to people in their mail.
That's one way of putting it. We talked about that story before, right, Keo?
We may have, but
about
my
how
memory of these things...
when he was on Suicide Squad, he would send, like, used condoms and dead rats to his coworkers.
Oh, yeah, he was getting into character. I remember that now, yeah.
And that was somehow considered, like, a cool acting process and not, like, a grave crime.
If he wanted to get into character as a Joker, he should have beaten a 16-year-old to death with a crowbar or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you tone it down. Thank you, Stairmaster.
Well, it would have saved us all from having to watch him on screen.
They would have put him in the film faster if he had done that.
Don't underestimate Hollywood, Swanson.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And speaking of don't underestimate Hollywood, don't underestimate the ability to just churn out as many seemingly viable things they possibly can, even if the well is surely run dry by now.
This is worse than Star Wars, man.
Well, yeah, at least with Star Wars, there are different eras that could be interesting.
Yeah, but this is all just medieval people.
Yeah, like, there's not, like in Star Wars, you go far enough back and it becomes, like, a weird, like, pseudo-fantasy tale. If you go far enough back in Game of Thrones, it's still a fantasy. It's not like, you don't go far enough into the future in Game of Thrones where it becomes, like, cyberpunk.
You can't go to Roman times in Game of Thrones because that would just be HBO's Rome.
Yeah.
And also the TV series really toned down the magic a lot, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
The setting itself is not really particularly interesting.
It's true. They did cut out that whole thing about how what's her name? No, what's
Catelyn Stark comes back from the dead after Beric Dondarrion sacrifices himself to resurrect her.
Yeah, and
there's also a subplot about how the Maesters are like a secret Illuminati that's trying to prevent the return of magic.
Yeah, it's they're just like, no, we need to be very realistic on our dragon show. And so they were, I guess.
Didn't they have Jon Snow say he saw nothing when he came back from the dead?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, guys. Have some imagination.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to show that, you know, this world is dark and serious.
Hey, what if you saw, like, an anime girl?
Oh, yeah. I saw words you wouldn't believe.
Their eyes were so big. And I could only see their noses from certain angles.
What if you had a 1 week isekai adventure before he came back?
Would it be the same genre? Would it also be a fantasy, or would he be like... Would he just wake up and he's in like a cockpit to a mecha?
Ooh, yeah, that would be... It would be really something to have in your canon Game of Thrones story.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Well, there's still 2 books left. And Jon Snow hasn't officially come back yet in the 5 that are already published.
Oh my god.
That's true.
Right.
So,
anything could happen.
Well, yeah, odds are George R. R. Martin will die before Jon Snow comes back, so...
Yes.
Look, just think about a new type Jon Snow.
He would just be Amuro, wouldn't he?
I think Amuro is more interesting of a character because he's kind of an everyman.
Well, yeah. Well,
And, he's kind of neurotic, that too.
that's the thing I don't like about the idea that Jon Snow is essentially the protagonist, is that he's also a fairly boring protagonist.
Yeah.
I'm Jon Snow. I am a good guy. I want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I miss my ginger wife.
My ginger wife died and now I'm sad. Perhaps I will get with my cousin.
Which is perfectly normal for this time period.
I have a moderate amount of angst, but not enough to actually affect my character too much.
Alright, well, that's it for the news, so let's head over to a segment near and dear to everybody's hearts. It's Trailer Blazers. Hit the theme, Kyorain.
Sega.
That's right, we're back talking about Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, including Sonic.
As part of our sponsored paid deal.
Yeah,
we're paid on this.
Yeah, Kyo, you said it numerous times, we're paid.
Yeah, we're paid on this.
And you wouldn't be lying to us.
So yeah, we watched the new content trailer from... It was like a couple months back now, I think, but... Still very exciting because Sonic the Hedgehog was added in a content update to Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. You can now play as Sonic.
He breakdances when he gets combos.
Yeah. It's fully voice acted. He talks. He tells you all what he's doing in there.
Yeah, he goes, Tetris! Whoa!
And
I'm stacking!
And everyone else is here. Like Satan and Ocean Prince.
Yeah.
Hey, all your favorites.
And various other anime-esque people.
How come Dr. Robotnik is in here as like a foil to Sonic?
Well, he's busy with his
just
Mean Bean
one
machine.
Character.
Look, adding Sonic was already groundbreaking enough. You want to get greedy on me and start adding in more?
Yeah, Robotnik has his own imitator that he is.
Well, it literally is Puyo Puyo.
Yeah, he doesn't want a competition. He can't handle it.
Look, if you want to have Dr. Robotnik in your Puyo game, get the Puyo Puyo Gotcha game.
Oh yeah, he is in that.
Oh, but we're not sponsored by that.
Doesn't that have a Mean Bean shout out?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And he teams up with Satan.
Anyway, yeah, the outside of Sonic, the trailer is just a lot of the game. You just stack.
Can you explain Puyo Puyo? The rules?
Yeah, so the idea of Puyo Puyo is you get these colored pieces which you drop into rectangular area.
Okay, but the pieces are alive.
Pieces are alive. They are basically like slimes from like Dragon Quest or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're basically those, but if 4 of them touch, they explode and magical energy is released. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. And so people use these to power their magic spells, which they do combat with.
Okay, but there's also Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris is also there. Do you want me to explain Tetris?
Yes.
As well? I didn't really explain Puyo in a lot of detail. I guess I kind of did. But yeah, Tetris is a game where these little blocks in different shapes...
Not alive.
Not alive. They're just squares.
No, they're dead.
And your goal in that game is to basically get them into like lines to clear a line. And you generally want to either do one of 3 things. You want to clear multiple lines at once. You want to clear lines in sequential placement, like you want to get a combo where you clear one line after the other, or you want to set up what's called a T-spin, where...
Yes.
How do I describe a T-spin? It's basically where you slide a T piece, which is 4... Well, they're all 4 pieces.
There's 3
Tetris.
blocks on the bottom and 1 block on the middle top.
Yeah, so
and you can rotate blocks in Tetris, of course.
Yeah, so the idea there is you place the T piece in a slot that it must be rotated into, not just placed. Mm-hmm. That's called a T-spin. And you get extra points in that. It actually can be more powerful than a Tetris.
Oh. All right. Well, this sounds like a great game.
Okay, now explain Pokemon Puzzle League for the Nintendo 64.
No, we're not paid to explain that.
So Pokemon Puzzle League.
No. We're not paid to explain that, Kyorain.
It's in 3D, Swanson.
We didn't get paid for that.
We didn't get paid for Puyo either.
What?
Anyways. Wait. Oh.
I'm bringing my knives back out and I'm sharpening them. Explain yourself.
Whoa. Okay. Look, I guess I have to come clean about this. I'm just really excited for this game. This is my favorite video game franchise. It's the only thing that makes me happy in this entire world.
Well, I can't. How can I stay mad at you?
Yeah. So, anyways, Pokemon Puzzle League or whatever it's called is it's basically like a reskin of the puzzle game Panel de Pon, and
hey,
in that game,
hey Kyo, do you know what I'm doing right now? Can you take a look? Take a guess.
Oh, pointing your knife at me. I don't have to guess. I can see you do it.
Yeah.
Swanson, that hurts.
So that's Trailer Blazers.
That's right. And with all that out of the way, I guess it's time for us to get to our main event this week, huh?
Yeah.
We watched a show, and now we're going to discuss it. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a oddly titled series that follows both the Falcon and the Winter Soldier post-Endgame. It's
not oddly, it's just unwieldy.
And as they go through their various lives trying to pick up the pieces from the post-Avengers shenanigans, Sam Wilson decides to eventually, I guess, not in this episode, team up with Bucky Barnes for a worldwide adventure that tests their abilities and patience. You can find the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. Guys, did the Falcon and the Winter Soldier lift you up, or did it mind control you into killing some people?
Mind controlled me into killing some people.
That's implying that this caused you to experience some kind of emotion or something.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
Yeah.
Tune out.
Oh, great. All right, cool. Short app. Yeah.
We're at 60 minutes. We can go home.
So yeah, this is a show. If anyone was worried, and apparently, if you believe some of the reviews that we saw from IMDb and elsewhere, there were plenty of people who were uncomfortable with WandaVision, apparently, because it dared to, I don't know, do anything different.
This one decided to play it extremely safe, I would say.
Yeah, this felt, honestly, to the point where it felt like a Marvel Netflix show in some aspects.
Yes. That is a perfect comparison.
It was like a Marvel Netflix show, but it's definitely one that was kid friendly.
Yes, yeah, it's not it's not any of the actual Marvel Netflix shows.
Yeah, nobody's head is getting split out in half by a glass table.
Yeah. No, in fact, you're not seeing any blood in this, I don't think.
But the kill count is absurd.
The kill in the opening action scene, which is the only action scene other than a short flashback for Bucky. In the opening action scene alone, Falcon's kill count is in the double digits.
Falcon, decimates the Tunisian Air Force or Army Aviation, whatever.
Yeah, I think this is a terrorist group that he's attacking, but yes.
With attack helicopters?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The person refers to it as a terrorist group.
Well, they have attack helicopters. They're probably funded by the CIA.
This opening sequence was ridiculously disjointed from the rest of the program. I don't. The only reason the place was there was so I guess you viewers were not bored by the show. Is that why it was there?
Yeah,
yes.
I would have to imagine.
Does it even introduce the guy, his handler boy?
No, he's just there. They're just like, this is his army friend. They're part of the Air Force, actually.
It's like James Bond films have like a little cold open that has nothing to do with the rest of the film. But usually they aren't 20 minutes long, like this feels like.
Also, James Bond films are films and not a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if the first episode of a James Bond TV show was just, like, a thing that wasn't related to anything else in the plot, it would be weird.
But this is, like, almost an hour long.
I guess.
No, I think that it actively fought against the narrative of the show as well, which was definitely a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Well, do you disagree?
No, but I would like to hear your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, well, the idea here is... So we've got this guy with state-of-the-art technology going out on adventures in concert with the U.S. Air Force, and then 20 minutes later it's like, we need money. There's destitute folks out here.
We can't get money. Yeah, apparently the U.S. Air Force pays an exposure for superheroes.
Yeah, he's gonna get open mic at the stand or whatever in New York after this.
Yeah, so could you imagine what open mic is like now that like half the population is returned?
Oh God.
Yeah, so heard any good jokes in 5 years? Every hack comedian in New York right now after the blip.
They're just talking about how they don't like TV shows anymore.
Boy, I just came back from not existing and my arms are tired.
Man, you know, the worst part about coming back into existence? All the shows I gotta catch up on.
It's cool how there wasn't any mass famine or anything when the population doubled.
Yeah. It's wild.
All these blip shows are depressing, aren't they, folks?
It's funny because they do touch on it, but in the most Marvel way possible, which is to acknowledge that it was a problem, but then don't explain any further.
Yeah, they should have just done an Infinite Crisis style full reboot of the universe.
Because in WandaVision, I don't know how much you watched other than the 2 episodes that you did for the episode you weren't on.
None.
I only watched the first episode. I was very sick.
But in later episodes of the show, they showcase what it was like for people to like be brought back from the blip, and it was just like, and it was in a hospital, and it was just pandemonium. I want more stuff like that. I need like a showcase of how much the situation on both ends of both half the population disappearing and then just coming back messed everything up.
Yeah, like, it's so weird how they portray this event, because, okay, in Endgame, it's just like, people are vaguely sad.
But they still have Denny's open. There's not, like, any food ration lines or anything.
Yeah.
Capitalism somehow still exists.
It wasn't like an apocalypse event. It was just like, oh man, this is like a personal hardship for a lot of people.
There aren't just people going, God is real. I need a big purple man. We need to kill the Avengers to please him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then when they come back, it's like, yeah, there's some terrorists. They want open borders.
Yeah. Well, trust me, we'll get into these terrorists real quick. So yes, Falcon is here. He got shield. And but
his wings are bulletproof.
But he don't use shield because he got wings.
He also does not have a gun, which seems like he should have for this mission.
Well, he technically does have guns. That's what he shoots. That's what he shoots them with.
This was a really strange action sequence because
I don't think it was well directed.
It was poorly directed, but also clearly under some kind of constraints where he couldn't have any actual kills because he kills people here, but he doesn't kill people.
Yeah, he indirectly kills everybody.
It's sort of like Christopher Nolan Batman kills.
Yeah. But like it's not even good indirect kills. He legit kicks somebody and then they fall out of a plane. That's a kill, my man. You didn't indirectly kill that person. You did it.
Yeah, but you don't go woo when that happens.
Yeah. Also, he lassos somebody and pulls them out of a plane that they're in. That's also a direct kill, my man. You did that.
There should have been a guy who was like thrown out of the helicopter and another helicopter's below him, and you see the helicopter blades coming up and it cuts to his face. He's like, "Oh!"
That'd be
And
fun.
it cuts away.
That feels like an Indiana Jones type thing. You could get away with in a kid's
I think in a lot of cases, he does a lethal move on somebody, but then they have like a glider suit and they're fine or something.
No, the only person who doesn't die in this apparently is a character who in the comics is Batroc the Leaper.
Oh, wasn't he in Captain America 2?
He was, yeah, as the same generic bad guy instead of the funny Frenchman that he is in the comics.
So yeah, but he gave Captain America a run for his money in that movie, and here he's having trouble with the Falcon.
Yeah.
It was like a normal human being.
Well,
it's so weird seeing that he apparently did not have any reason. Like, he was not trying to be non-lethal specifically. He didn't seem to care when a bunch of them died, but he also didn't kill anybody directly. It's just very weird, right?
Yeah, there's something with Batroc in this where he's supposed to have like strong kicks, I guess, but I don't know if it's super powered. Hard to say.
He's just a martial artist.
But anyway, he does not die, but everyone else in his team does. And there's a lot of... you can tell we're back in the classic Marvel fashion because there's just a lot of military weaponry being shown off. Oh,
there's a bunch of Humvees that are accomplished nothing but fan clubbing.
Yeah.
Falcon. Also, the stakes here are that the Air Force plane has been hijacked and it's going to cross into the Tunisian border or something illegally, and that's going to cause a diplomatic incident. Falcon does not regain control of this plane. In fact, the pilot is shot and it goes veering off screen out of control.
Yeah, I guess he was like, mission accomplished is not going to the border.
That's going to crash somewhere, and that's probably going to be a diplomatic problem.
Well, it's a good thing we don't care about the stakes at all, because who cares?
Yeah, we're here to see him zooming around, flying around, shooting, indirectly killing people, but totally directly killing people.
Scene sucks. There's no slow motion. There's nobody going, ah.
And apparently not getting paid.
Yeah, yes. Well, I guess it's just how the military system works.
They should have paid him when he gave that shield to the museum.
Yeah, that's also weird.
$1 million.
And yeah, I mean, at least if you give the guy $1 million, you know he was not going to directly come back and be like, I want that shield that you gave to this random dude.
You don't have to worry about him defecting to the weird anarchist terrorists.
Yeah. So yeah, this action scene happens. He kills all these guys real good. All of the army people are like, or Air Force, I guess, but they're all like, "Wow, you did a great job, Falcon. Here's no money for you. You're doing this for the American people, but for no actual benefit to yourself.
You had no investment in this. In fact, you're unfazed by it."
Yeah.
Nobody will ever know this happened either.
What do we think of Anthony Mackie's acting here? It's not great, right? I'm not the only one picking up on that.
Well, he's not leading man material, that's for sure.
He feels very removed from everything.
Well, he doesn't really have any emoting to do. The character is a big nothing.
Yeah, and they don't add anything to it by adding a family doesn't make somebody a character.
Yeah, he's basically Captain America's replacement sidekick. How do you make a character for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll be honest. I watched a lot of the Marvel movies, but I don't remember what Falcon did in any of the movies.
He picked a guy up when he got thrown off a building, and he got beaten up by that one angry guy at the end. He
essentially becomes Cap's partner in Winter Soldier, if I remember correctly, because he steals some prototype Stark stuff.
No, he said he used it in the military, which means he's not even that special.
Oh, yeah. No, he used something similar, but then he got an upgrade later from the guy who makes everything, Tony Stark.
Yeah, I watched Winter Soldier, but I have no impression of this character at all.
No, he's just essentially he is the war machine to Captain America's Iron Man. He just hangs out and has like a fun conversation. Speaking of which, Don Cheadle as James Rhodes is here.
But not Terrence Malick.
I think that War Machine actually at least left an impression because he was like, "Shut up, Tony, you're stupid sometimes."
That's true. There's never a conflict of interest apparently between these two.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don Cheadle is here briefly to be like, listen, tell me more about why you decided to give away this shield to this museum.
Why won't you be Captain America? You're clearly qualified.
He's like, I'm not. And he's like, I don't understand why you don't think so, even though everyone in the audience believes you are correct. And like, I mean, like, I feel like most people after they watched Endgame were like, huh, that was the guy he went with?
Yeah, it should have been Bucky.
I mean, yeah, at least he has a robot arm so he can actually throw the shield. Like, wasn't the whole thing that Captain America, like, his strength allows him to throw that shield because otherwise it would be, like, too heavy?
I think Captain America is just, like, the optimal human being in terms of muscle growth and motor skills.
No, he got superhuman abilities.
Yeah, like, Falcon
He's
doesn't have
optimal.
that ability, so how's he throwing this shield around? Is his bird
Like,
gonna
Captain
do it?
America is only superhuman because he's the best in every category. Like,
No,
there's
he
people who could...
has superhuman capabilities beyond any person.
Oh, yeah, he
like,
has superhuman stamina, but it's a superhero. In the superhero genre, that's like a given for everyone.
Well, but he's also able to, like, in the first movie, when the moment he gets out of the thing, he can, like, run down a car.
Yeah.
So he's
just like
he's got stuff.
He's just on the low end of super strength and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
if you take away all of the Falcon's, like, specifically designed stuff, he's just a normal guy.
Yeah, they should have given it to Spider-Man. The shield, I mean.
That would have been interesting. They should have, you know what? They should have just brought John Bernthal and had Frank Castle be Captain America.
I mean, they could have had like a developed character to give the shield to, but
Yeah, like John Bernthal as the Punisher.
Yeah.
Because the motive. So we don't know his motive for being a hero at all. At least I don't. And,
I don't either.
No.
And we just know that he's a good guy.
He does not have an origin story in the MCU.
And unlike
sure.
unlike like Wanda and WandaVision, he doesn't have any like nothing bad really happens to him other than that part where he got blipped.
Yeah, and so the core of his emotional journey in this show so far is that he wants to keep a boat.
Yes.
Yes, that should have been Winter Soldier and Punisher.
That would have been that would have been cool. Two gun guys gunning it out.
Yes.
Speaking of, I mean, Sebastian Stan is definitely more the guy who plays Bucky is definitely more of a leading man, and he gets less time in this, I think, than.
It's kind of weird though when he's playing a regular guy. Kind of gave me Ralphie from The Soprano vibes, like him trying to pretend to be normal instead of a PTSD-ridden wreck.
Well, I mean, it makes sense at the very least.
Yes.
I feel
think
like
that was intentional on his part.
Yeah, I know that they really want to hype Falcon up because I imagine by the end of this he's going to be the new Captain America.
Oh, good luck.
But
They're trying to produce a product here. It's what's
well, you
happening,
don't get.
right?
They have to make a product that will advertise. They'll set up future products.
Yeah.
And serve as an advertisement for them. Kia. That's how the cinematic universe works.
the problem is that when watching this, I'm far more interested in what Bucky is up to than what Sam Wilson's doing.
I mean, there's a lot more going on with his character. Like,
Well, he has inner demons.
Yeah, he has actual things going on.
He has a Dr. Melfi.
It's true. I was thinking the entire time watching this, man, The Sopranos really messed up the idea of everybody has to do a psychology scene now because of them.
Yeah.
At least this one was better than most versions of it, I suppose.
Yeah, my psychiatrist is sort of like that.
Mean?
Well, no, because I'm normal and reasonable.
Oh, yeah.
But I assumed she would be mean if I killed like 100 people.
Yeah, Bucky is, I guess, he's got like a redemption list where he's going and trying to make amends to various people that he has murdered or helped with various murders. We get that through like a flashback where he like has a lady arrested that he helped get into office or something.
yeah, she's like
a
casually
senator.
talking about like committing murders and stuff.
Yeah, you should have killed her.
Even his action scene for how quick it is more engaging than the thing with Falcon.
Yeah, this character with this history of doing like grisly murders has a very like chilled out experience nowadays, where he's just like talking to people, not thinking about murder anymore at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's clearly thinking about all of the murders he's committed.
I mean, not thinking about doing more murders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's easier to make his action scenes look better because he's punching actual actors. And you don't have two 3D models slamming into each other.
True. Also, it ends with the implication of him killing a completely innocent person.
Which is interesting, yeah.
Which is, like, yeah, very interesting.
Which is, like, get you, yeah.
And he also feels bad for it, unlike Falcon, who killed potentially innocent people.
Yeah, we don't even know what those terrorists were fighting for.
Yeah. Although his military buddy does mention another group of terrorists who I guess are going to be the big bad, who want no borders, and that's what makes them the villains, I guess.
They're called the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing with
By the
this?
way, that's an actual thing from the comics. There was a guy named Flag Smasher who was, that was his whole thing, was that he wanted a unified country of no borders. And Captain America was
But now we're going to do something about the George Floyd protests, Swanson.
Yeah, or something like that. There's no, like, they're going to have to tread very lightly to make this not immediately unpleasant for me.
Yeah, like, when did that come out, Flag Smasher? Was that like well, I'm going to guess late 70s.
Flag Smasher, he was a character from the 80s, maybe?
80s?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so if you're going to adapt that, you got to be really, really careful to, read the room a little bit.
Yeah, like, you should probably wait a little bit. There's a reason that no one has made Nuke into a character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe yet.
Like, when we do get to the Flag Smashers, I was mostly just rooting for them.
Yeah.
This episode.
Yeah, good on
All
them.
they did was rob a bank. Victimless crime.
Yeah. I looked it up. 1985 is when the first appearance of Flag Smasher happens.
Okay, I wasn't too far off, okay?
He uses terrorism to spread an anti-nationalist sentiment. Forming a group called Ultimatum, which is an acronym for the Underground Liberated Totally Integrated Mobile Army to Unite Mankind.
Okay, that's a much cooler name than calling them the Flag Smashers.
Yeah. But I mean, he goes by the Flag Smasher. Don't worry, though.
I mean, he
is a piece of garbage because he does team up with the Red Skull at some point, kind of negating his entire message.
Yeah. Like,
does he ever team up with the Hate Monger?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh.
How do you team up with the Red Skull? Like, isn't the Red Skull like want to have like a fascist state?
At some point, I guess Ultimatum it's taken over by Red Skull, so I guess he's not really working with them.
Wow, what an incredible journey they went on in those comic books.
Yeah.
Remember that time Magneto teamed up with Red Skull, and at the end, it leaves Red Skull locked in a bunker with no food?
Yeah, kicked ass. It's good times. It's what he deserves.
But yeah, they set up a villain group that is not one I'm concerned with.
Yeah, it sounds like one that, like, only the U.S. government would be concerned with.
Also the Chinese government.
Well, yeah, a lot of governments, I suppose, would be concerned with it, but for the interests of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, we're not really... They've established this quote-unquote threat, but not why they're a threat. Just like, ooh, they're up to something.
Yeah, what we see of them in this is that they rob a place and then they beat up this military guy.
Who was trying to arrest them.
Also, poor move on his part. He sees a guy get kicked and then thrown into a wall from the kick.
Yeah.
And then is like, I'm going to confront these people.
Also, he is surrounded by, like, 80 other dudes.
Yeah. Like, what did he think was going to happen? Like, he's lucky he didn't get actual murdered.
He thinks... All intelligence agents think they're, like, the protagonists of their own lives.
Yeah, and it turns out they're actually not even on the billing of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't even think his name gets dropped in the episode. I don't know what this guy's name is.
I don't know. In real life, he would be promoted, though, for getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, true. Maybe that's what...
And fucking up
It'll probably happen by the end of the show. He'll get his ass kicked the entire like 6 episodes, and then he'll be like, "I got promoted."
Anyways, we're kind of dodging the elephant in the room here of Falcon's family drama. The fishing boat saga.
Oh my
Somehow
god!
More arduous than the boat from Berserk.
Yeah. Well, let's focus on the good stuff before we get to that. Bucky gets a date.
I thought we did. Oh yeah.
So Bucky is hanging out with this man. What's his name? Yuri.
Mr. Kojima.
Yeah. He's hanging out with this man named Yuri, who it's revealed his son. He most likely had a hand in murdering his son.
Wasn't he that guy from the flashback where he was like, I didn't see nothing.
Oh yeah,
that probably makes sense.
I didn't pick up.
I thought it was gonna be like, my son died in 1943 because I'm very old.
Oh, I thought at first before they started bringing up the son thing that he was like someone that Bucky had like teamed with in the war.
In World War II.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not questioning it.
No, he just killed his son, and he's really guilty about it. I'm trying to figure out how to make amends, but taking a while.
And yeah, he has this date with this lady who I'm sure will not show up anymore. And he just sort of walks out when she mentions murder.
That was kind of a forced in bit of dialogue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very strange date altogether. Where they sit in her restaurant and play games, Battleship in particular, and then she just asks him a bunch of questions, of which he returns no questions. He only answers in like monosyllables.
Women love it when you don't express interest.
Well, we'll look at it. If you looked like Sebastian Stan, they would.
Oh.
But yeah, she's like, man, the worst thing in the world, like beyond anything else, is having your kid die. Can you imagine that? That's like totally messed up. Like, that's sick what happened to that guy's kid.
Yeah, he totally got shot in the face by some Nazi serial killer.
And like the worst part is he doesn't know why it happened. What do you think of that?
He's like, hey, what do you think about that, pal? And he's like, I gotta go. And he just walks out. And yeah, that
he's like, listen, that just completely killed my boner. I'm just
well.
out.
Also, the alcohol didn't help either.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, he probably hasn't drank much in 90 years.
Yeah.
Well, she actually does commend his ability to keep alcohol down, doesn't she?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's like augmented a little bit.
Yeah, true. And he also spent a good portion of those 90 years in Russia.
Yeah. Working for the Nazis.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's all we get of Bucky in this. So the rest of the episode is dedicated to Sam Wilson's family drama.
His matters.
Yeah. He goes back to Louisiana.
Yeah, so the writer's room realized that this character has nothing.
Yeah.
Like, just nothing.
Zero.
And they're like, okay, give him a family, give him financial concerns, and then the audience will relate to him.
And they're like, yeah, how about if he's got, like, a boat that he's really into keeping? There's a
just like Tony Soprano.
But the family business is struggling, and they've got to sell it.
Actually, this is just like Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah, so the family fishing business is not having a good time, and he's come down to try and help, and it doesn't go over well. They go to get like a loan, and they get denied, presumably because of race, Falcon, but like...
Falcon storms out on the street and starts shouting, "Not economically viable," over and over, and Michael Douglas just nods at him while the police take him away.
It's like the lightest of race discussions that they have here. They don't even actually really mention the topic. They're just like, they give like a slight wink to all the black people in the audience, I guess.
They're like, hey, you don't look like the other Avengers.
It's like, this is discrimination, but it's different kind. It's the kind towards people who didn't exist for 5 years.
Yeah. Which, what a weird policy that would be, even.
It's easier to imagine the end of the world than it is of capitalism.
Yeah, apparently.
It's like, listen, resources are real tight after the whole blip thing, so people are rushing in for loans, and it's just not going to happen, buddy. I know you're an Avenger, but I don't care. Can I get a selfie, by the way?
Yeah. And yeah, that's probably the most accurate part of this, which is that they know that he is in fact an Avenger, but he is like C tier, so they're like, not important.
Yeah, and apparently Tony Stark didn't pay them.
Yeah, what? Like, what? What's he doing with all that money?
He didn't. That's more of a Reed Richards move, I think, paying them exposure.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess Tony all these years was like helping out with the Avengers. They have their own tower, but he was like, you get $0.
I set up a trust fund. You can access it by this password. Oh no, there's Thanos, so I have to go fight him.
Going off to space, bye. Yeah.
So what is he doing with the U.S.? Like, seriously, what is he doing with the U.S. Air Force? Is he just like doing it for?
Is he still in active service?
Yeah, he mentions he has contracts with them, which means he's getting paid, but he's not. He doesn't have enough.
Officer?
No, I think it's just like a superhero thing, right? Because like Cap worked for the Shield was part of the U.S. government, so he worked for the U.S. government at a certain point.
So he's enlisted. He's like a.
I don't think he's enlisted. Like, I feel like there's. I don't remember what the actual.
You're either enlisted or you're commissioned, Swanson. That's how the military works.
Yeah, but it might. I don't. It's. There's not superheroes in real life, Stairmaster. Like,
yeah, it works a little different with superheroes in town. Like, cooperating with the military is a little different. Especially with the Avengers having like the ability to destroy the military if they wanted to. Probably.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. They're kind of all kaput. Like half of them are not interested in being superheroes, apparently.
Well, Captain Marvel is an imperialist stooge.
That's true.
Yeah.
And Thor is too depressed to do anything.
And Hulk is busy doing whatever he does.
He's like walking around in green mode, being normal or something.
Yeah, whatever he does. And Ant-Man is getting into goofy shenanigans. So no one cared that no one really doesn't infect anybody else.
So yeah, I would think he'd have a pretty lucrative contract with the U.S. military if he's going to be using these super weapons to kill terrorists and stop.
Well, he's not even that powerful. All he does is hang glide good.
No, he's got like a bulletproof wings and a ultra intelligent drone that can just do as he says.
Yeah, but they could just take it from him when he's not wearing it if they wanted to and give it to someone else.
Well, the thing is that it's his private property, and also there's an established thing in the Marvel Universe that the government doesn't know how Tony Stark's stuff works. And they have zero idea of how to figure it out.
So what's going to happen now that he's dead? Is all of his infrastructure he's set up just going to decay?
I think Pepper is in charge of it now.
Yes, probably.
Also, she knows how to do it, but nobody can spread the knowledge for some reason. It's cursed.
I don't even think she knows how to do it.
Yeah.
And also, she can't pay Falcon.
Yes, it's not possible.
She doesn't even know Falcon exists, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that would track, honestly. Who knows? He might not even have been at the funeral. It's probably left off the list.
Well, he wasn't invited, probably.
Yeah.
Imagine she tries to talk to him, and
she goes like, "Hey, Eagle."
It's like Falcon. Yeah, whatever.
Or calls him War Machine.
Oh
no. So
it's like, isn't that your close personal friend?
So the end of the episode comes about here when Sam is watching the TV.
You're right.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot to this dynamic. It's just him and his sister have disagree because
the sister literally just says, "You don't know me" 5 times in a row.
Yeah, and that's about it. And she's like, "Turn on the TV," and there's a new Captain America in town, and he looks like a dork. He doesn't say anything, but he comes out and he's like, he nods to everybody, gives a wink to the camera.
It reminds me of Bullseye impersonating Daredevil.
It does actually remind me of that a good bit. I was trying to think about how I was going to phrase that, but yeah.
We're two brothers.
Okay, I'm picturing a YouTube video summarizing this turn of events, and it
like in universe or out of universe, or
maybe in universe. I'm not sure, but it would be the following title for the video: Man declines being Captain America, instantly regrets it.
Yeah, that would be true, and that's pretty much where we end at that moment. So this person who shows up in the credits is listed as John Walker, who at a certain point is Captain America when Cap, after I don't remember, I might be getting this wrong. If someone is a bigger comics fan, they can correct me. But I think at a certain point, he finds out that the president, which at the time was Nixon, was behind a secret conspiracy that he uncovers.
Yes.
And Captain America is so disgusted that he puts away the shield and gives up being the captain. And this guy, John Walker, takes it, and he's kind of like a self-righteous jackass.
Oh, is this the one that's like virulently anti-communist?
Yes.
Kind of racist with it?
Mm-hmm. And after he rightfully gets the moniker stolen or taken away from him and given back to Steve Rogers, he becomes U.S. agent.
Oh no!
Yeah,
that's like a supervillain.
That's like.
But he is a hero. He is, I guess, ostensibly a good guy. As good as he's like a gray. He's like a gray guy.
I don't think so.
What if the Punisher was even more racist?
What are our final thoughts on this program?
I was just waiting for it to be over.
I mean, honestly, this show it's the most product thing I've ever watched, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, seeing the trailers and stuff, I was not impressed, and it shows that I was right to not be impressed by even the trailers of this show, because there's just nothing. Maybe the next, 5 episodes are really good, but this one was not.
Yeah, no, just watch the Snyder Cut instead.
I wouldn't recommend that on anybody, unless you got paid.
Like us.
And, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give this a tune out. So there you go. Listen, anybody who accuses us of only not liking DC things, which I don't think anyone does, but we also don't like Marvel things sometimes. In this instance, right now.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be giving this one.
Oh yeah,
tune out.
I'm glad that Swanson didn't wait for Kia to give his opinion.
Well, I figured where it was going.
Swanson likes silencing black voices on his podcast.
Yeah, I'm like a new Captain America.
What if I went with the swerve at the end here and I said that as a black man I really related to the...
Well, we'd have to turn your volume up. So that...
You really related to the financial hardships of this superhero.
Every superhero thing has finance problems now.
Of owning a boat and a house and having a... what?
It's great.
That's not even an everyday financial concern. It's it's really an extra thing. Yeah.
It's not like he's struggling to live.
To get a different job.
So yeah, that's a tune out on the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And that'll about do it for this week's episode of the show. But hey, listen. If you crave more TV Tuners content, perhaps a bonus episode where we talk about something that you specifically want to hear us discuss, well, you can go and do that by going over to buymeacoffee.com/TV Tuners and requesting yourself an episode. You can be like the mysterious figure known as PogChamp, who requested us to talk about the Snyder Cut.
Oh my god.
So
we're actually getting paid? I thought that was a joke.
No, it's actually happening, Kyo, right? And it's not unlike Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, we are getting paid to talk about the Snyder Cut. So that'll be coming.
We're getting paid $6.
That's right. So that'll be coming soon. But for now, we have a Gundam series to wrap up. So look forward to that in the future. And as always, we'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Denver Fact of the Week. Did you know that Stairmaster was Captain America for 48 hours before he realized that being Captain America meant being celibate?
It's true. He has to wear a chastity belt under that suit.